Hi guys, and welcome to another video on our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll have Joe Lambadjieva, the AI girl. She's everywhere. She's bringing new content on AI stuff. So there is no better person to have on our channel to talk about AI stuff and what's trending and where should we invest our money in AI in boosting our profits and revenue. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you very much for having me, Igor. And oh, wow, that surname pronunciation, can I just say perfection?
I practiced. I practiced.
You did.
Joe, I know you do a couple of things, but just as an overview and introduction, tell us a little bit about what you do, your companies, and your everything that you do.
Everything, sure. So my main business is an AI consultancy called Amazing Wave. We help sellers, e-commerce sellers, Amazon sellers, and agencies essentially, firstly, redefine their processes using AI. So how we can take one well-established process and make it much more efficient using AI. Also, we do team training. And then on the other side, I also write the AI for e-commerce newsletter, which to date is read by more than 48,000 people, which every time I say it, I'm like, this is amazing. Which is, my pride and joy. And I write 3 times a week, and I've been doing that for the last more than 2.5 years. So yeah, that's basically
Wow,
it. I'm just all
congratulations.
about AI. Thank you. I feel like it's a massive achievement. I've never stuck to anything so committedly in that
It
regard.
definitely is. So 2.5 years, that's quite a lot. I never
Yeah.
committed to anything for longer than that, except my
I have
marriage.
to say, like, I am normally the kind of my personality is like, oh, this is exciting. I need to ace it. And like I spend about a week doing it and then I'm like, no, I'm bored and I'm moving to the next thing. So having this to be kind of like a ongoing thing for so long and just keep going with it, even on the weeks that I really didn't want to write a newsletter is for me like, oh my God, clearly I can do this. So yeah.
Yeah, I can relate. So, for me personally, what's happening with the AI world, it's really overwhelming. So, do you have any, I know you have a lot, but any specific tip? What should I do? What should somebody who's managing PPC do, or sellers who are trying to manage everything by themselves? So, there's also obviously so many opportunities, but everything looks so complicated.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips where to go, where to start? Because there are so many different platforms, Gemini, then OpenAI, Claude, so many. So what are some of your favorites? Where should somebody start, or give us some tips?
That's a lot of questions in one question, Igor, but I'll break it down. No, absolutely. And the funny thing is like, I just nonstop read and talk about AI and I feel overwhelmed. And it is overwhelming. Like, the pace with which AI is moving is like it's mind blowing and it's the fastest developing thing I've ever seen happen. But I like to keep it simple. Like, there is so much noise in the space, and there is, of course, like a tool for everything and its mother coming out every day. And, that is overwhelming, but it's actually just noise. Like in reality, there is a handful of tools that everyone should start using, and I would say start using them today if you haven't. And then everything else is a nice to have, but not a must. I mean, that obviously might change next week, in a month, because again, like the industry is so fluid and it moves so fast. But still for the like, the last 3 years or like less than 3 years that this has been going on, there's still very clear few players that really make the difference. So I would say step number one is just get yourself a plus subscription on something like ChatGPT. So, I mean, it's really a no-brainer, but like the ChatGPT platform has right now so many functionalities which are great for both sellers, but then also for professionals that are dealing with advertising, with like listing optimization. It has capabilities to analyze data. It has capabilities to give you, for example, categorize things to create obviously various text inputs, even various data inputs, images, videos. So like it's very, very versatile. Then I would say for Amazon sellers and also PPC professionals that like, are looking to, let's say, create sponsor brand product ads. My newest favorite tool, which actually was not there at all up to like a month ago, was Gemini 2.5, which is a Google product. They rolled out their Nano Banana like model, which is called boringly Flash 2.5, but it's amazing. It's like really mind-blowingly amazing. I'm not just saying it. You can upload your product picture and then essentially get a ready ad with like pretty much perfect product fidelity. Of course, there might be some categories in which there might be like tiny mistakes, but in general, the leap in terms of how realistic those images are and how good the product comes out in the images is impressive. And then I'd say when you start getting more and more comfortable with something like ChatGPT, the next step is to go a little more advanced in terms of the slight nuances of better, let's call it, which is Claude, especially when it
Mm.
comes to anything to do with text. So if you're writing product listing like copy, or if you're writing like anything to do with, let's say email marketing, whatever else you're doing, Claude just has a much better, more human sounding tone. But again, like if you want to just make it super simple and not get really overwhelmed, start today just by using ChatGPT, right? And
Mhm.
but make it a like, and this is what I always advise my clients as well, is like, make it like as if you're training a muscle. You have to do it every day. Even if every day is just 5 minutes and you just try one thing and you see, yes, that works, that doesn't work. Like just do it every day and you see that over time you see like you learn a lot and then you start figuring out more and more use cases in your day to day.
Yeah, thank you very much. So ChatGPT Plus, the paid version, then Gemini 2.5, Nano Banana, and then Claude for writing. That's really useful. I tried playing a little bit with Claude artifacts. I mean, I'm a user of ChatGPT Plus for, I don't know, a long time, and I have those custom GPTs and stuff. So I'm now looking to add something like that in Claude. I don't know if that's artifacts, like similar to custom GPT
So
in a way, or
not quite. So the equivalent of chat of custom GPTs in Claude is projects. So it does very similar job. Artifacts is kind of like almost I like to call it like a mini application that you can
Mm,
build within the interface of Claude, and that is really powerful. Like I was just showing a client how they can set up, for example, like a little RFP like form, which let's say some like their VA essentially fills in and then it spits out like a whole brief in terms of their product, or there's many use cases. So it's really powerful. But again, these are nice to have. Like and if you want to go like sort of like one level further, then you can start looking into things like agentic browsers like GenSpark, or
mhm.
like basically platforms like Lovable, which then help you basically vibe. Oh my God, I'm gonna say it like vibe code, Ugh. Vibe
Yes.
code. Like your own kind of like mini applications, websites, and whatnot. So again, there is a progression, but again, to keep it super simple, start with one platform and then work your way up to the next.
Yeah, I must admit that I vibe coded my own website like
Oh,
in a day.
wow.
Completely functional website, absolutely fast. One of my friends, he was interested to see my new website, and he was amazed how fast it is. I built it on Replit, by the way. So it works very well. So I think it's very, very good that we have that option,
Mm.
regardless of the name, vibe coding. But I feel like if I was a service provider as an app developer, I would feel threatened a little bit, because I know
Yeah.
that I was able to develop a mini app through that with, I don't know, 5 hours or 10 hours of so-called coding. I wasn't coding anything. It was a fully functional app for the purpose of it, like a mini audit, PPC audit of the account. But anybody who saw it was like, "Oh my God, is it possible?" So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm
No,
an
I think
absolute amateur.
it's like it's a really crazy exciting time to live in right now. I think it's I'm not gonna lie, it's very scary for everyone in the knowledge business, let's call it. Like any knowledge worker right now is immensely threatened. Like me, you, like everyone else. Like, will have AI eat like part of our kind of experience and job. But, and also on the flip side, I'd say is there has never been also a better time to be an entrepreneur and to have ideas, because now everyone has the tools to create like, useful apps, projects, whatever is in your mind. And that, before there was the wall of having to have a lot of investment. Now you can do
Yeah.
this with just using like essentially spoken language. So it's both very scary and exciting. But I would say I'm more on the pessimist side, but still, like it is definitely a very, like, there's a lot of opportunities for people to like put their ideas and knowledge into something that is working.
Yeah. On the pessimistic side, I was a little bit pessimistic until I saw the limitations of
Mm.
continuously talking in a certain chat, for example, be it ChatGPT or GenSpark. We even paid for the $200 GenSpark, what how they call it, Plus or whatever membership, like unlimited everything. But in reality, it was like that because we were trying. It's a side project. We were trying to create some books and PDFs and whatnot, and over time, it just started going worse and worse. So at the beginning, it was really a nice picture of a cartoon lady showing something, and it was really nice looking, and it was all the same for, I don't know, first 20 pages. Then it started to be so low quality that we started to laugh literally. So at the end, the output that we saw was literally, I don't know how they call it in English, but when you paint a person like with few lines only.
Matchstick person.
Yes, matchstick, literally matchstick person. He was like, is this for real? So I know that that's the limitation, but I was like, yes, we're not doomed yet.
Mm. Yeah, but also the thing is like you need to bear in mind that part of the issue that you have experienced is because you have continued in the same chat maybe for too long,
Mhm.
therefore, running out of context window. So like, AI bots have like a certain memory, if you wish, that they like preserved in like a particular size of a chat. And so if you keep going and going and going, firstly you get like over time a prompt drift, but then also, you can like the bot over time will forget where it started. So
Yeah.
so I agree. AI right now is still fairly limited, but again, to just put things in context, we are here and it's not even been 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's important that we put everything in context and people actually do think about where this is heading.
I feel like it was yesterday when I was pasting an image into ChatGPT and it said like, "I'm sorry, I cannot process images." And I was like, "Damn, that would be so
Yeah,
awesome." And now I'm pissed when I cannot do it for whatever reason. It's
I
it's
know.
unreadable or a bad PDF scan or whatever. So the advancement is really really big. Um, I want to start closing this conversation, even though we could go on and on. Please, can you tell me a little bit and our viewers about your audits? I had an opportunity to take a look at one of your audits, as you know, and I was blown away by the amount of information and value that it brought to a client. So it was really a comprehensive analysis of competition, keywords, PPC, brand positioning, everything, all in one side. I think it was like less than 200 pages of PDF. So can
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about that? Uh,
Yeah, it's funny. Like, this is, I guess, this is more like my non-AI classic Amazon experience. Obviously, before I started doing all of the AI stuff, I had like a lot of years of running like essentially Amazon brands for other companies, like an aggregator and
mhm,
in an agency perspective, and so my kind of superpower always has been strategy and sort of like looking at the overall Amazon picture, but I've also been quite in the weeds. So, so in essence, what you saw is my thought
y-
process of how one brand should be looking at the entire category and what they should do. So, funnily enough, a lot of this is like, I wish I could say that there's a magic AI tool that I use that I press a button and it spits this out, but it doesn't. It's not. It's
that
like
would be worth millions.
yeah, no, it would be, but like the reality is that this is all years of understanding, like, selling on Amazon, but then also understanding the wider picture. And then using AI, of course, to dig for further insights. So, like, a lot of the insights that are gathered are through, like, capturing data that wasn't there and like using AI to capture that data and then like amalgamate it into something more comprehensive. But again, like, this is like you need to know what you're looking for and you need to understand the
Yeah.
finer nuances. And so, unfortunately,
In
yeah, this is not
in
a
short, you're saying you're not offering that anymore, right?
I am because I am definitely a geek, and this is the most one of the most enjoyable things for me is to like go and dig into the data. But it's funny, like, it's funny. I think this is probably the most valuable thing I offer, funnily enough. But
Mhm.
I feel that people don't necessarily understand the value of it because it's so sexy to talk about AI and people love a shiny thing when actually sometimes you don't need a shiny thing. You need a really good foundation to
Right.
understand where you're driving your ship. But when I try to talk to clients about, hey, by the way, like, do you know, like, if you're driving the ship in the right place?
Yeah.
Most people are like, let's talk about AI automations. I'm like, okay,
Yes. Banana, banana, please.
yeah, let's talk about AI automations, but you're missing out. So,
Yeah. Joe, thank you very much for being my guest. For the end, can you please share what are the best options for somebody to contact you? And yeah, so I suppose that there'll be somebody really interested in your services.
yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for having me at on your podcast. So the best way is you can contact me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me. My name is Joe Lambadjieva. Don't try to spell that, just copy paste it. Or you can email me at joe@amazingwave.digital. Or yeah, you can subscribe to my newsletter and then email me when you like it or you don't like it. So these are all, yeah, viable ways.